Greetings and salutations, folks, and welcome once again, as always, to another helping of Mr H's Hot Pot. Join me today for the daily vlog once again, and on the Cresta run once again. Now today I'm going to do something a little different. I've been doing daily vlogs from my own hotel. Today I'm going to invade next door, which is way over there, and we'll take a look at the theming over there. Just a brief look at it. I'll do a more in-depth video later on. Now today is day 9 of Mr H's Florida vacation. We're slowly drawing towards the end, although I'm trying not to think of that. Squeeze as much out of your holiday as you can. Big thank you once again to everybody who's left comments on my videos. I do try to read them all, even one or two of the slightly negative ones. Don't know what that's about. I just put that down to a little bit of the old green-eyed monster. Anyway, I'm now at the bottom of the stairwell of our hotel, and we're gonna go beyond there. There's dragons. I'm gonna take a look at over there. I have been over and had a quick nosy just to see how the other half live. But we'll go over there, we'll fill up over there. What I've got to do is make my way across the parking lot, or car park to use the British vernacular, just to please you, Mick. I know you don't like me using American slang. And today is shaping up to be a nice day. It's 9 o'clock this morning. I've got up late this morning, Hot Potters. We was out really late at the Magic Kingdom. I had to drag Toby out of there. He wanted to go on roller coasters. There was actually shutting rides down, and he still wanted to go on them. And I'm like, come on Toby, we have to get back. He's gone and discovered the love of the one thing I didn't want him to, which is roller coasters. I am not a big roller coaster fan, Hot Potters. I had a bad experience when I was a kid on waltzers at a fair, where, you know, they're run by travellers, aren't they, our fairs, and I was only young, and you got that pikey type of talk as they give. Oh, for fuck's sake. And I've never really liked crash bang wallop rides ever since. Now, speaking of parking lots, car parks, I saw something yesterday, because what we've been doing, we've been going into the parks later. So we've been getting off property during the morning, going getting a bit of breakfast and things like that, and then we've been going into the parks later so we could do more. It just seems to work out better for us that way. And when we arrived at this parking lot, I saw something I've never seen before, and I hope it doesn't come in the UK, but I can see it doing one day. And that is, if you can imagine a Tesco's or Asda in the UK, the first half a dozen to a dozen car parking spaces near the doors being blanked out. Now that's not unusual. Usually they do that for parent and child and disabled bays. They leave them so they can get to the doors closer. They still had those at this particular car park that I saw, but what they'd done, a private company, a third-party company, had sort of reserved these spaces, stuck up these QR codes on them, and what you had to do, if you wanted to use those spaces, you had to pay them to use them. And I wouldn't like to see that coming in the UK. I mean, all you simply need to do is just park in one of the free ones. But obviously, because the Americans are geared towards the car, they've took advantage of that. And it's not on, is it really? I think it would come in the UK if we had the infrastructure. We don't have the infrastructure to do it yet. But who knows, maybe that's coming to the UK sometime soon. Would you pay, or would you just go in one of the free ones? I bet you know what Mr H did, didn't you? Right, we're now over on the other hotel. As you can see, colours of the walls change. And where we have lots of sports theming, over here it's all to do with music, so I'll whip the camera around. The big icons here on the stairwells are speakers. There you can see the speakers, and you've got guitars up at the side, jukeboxes and all that kind of stuff. I know Mrs H wanted to get us into this particular hotel, but unfortunately it was booked up, or you had to pay a premium price. And we're of the opinion that as lovely as all this theming is, you're not paying for that. It's just a bed. I mean, you know, you want a decent bed, you want somewhere to put your head down that's decent, but there's no point paying for the theming because you're not going to really see it. There's simply too much to do. I think you'd need about 2 months here to do everything, personally. But it's some pretty nifty theming. I would have preferred this to the sports, to be honest. And I'm going to take the camera off the old selfie stick in a moment, and I'll show you something that I know my good friend Mike would simply love. He'll start drooling in a minute, Hot Potters. And just look at that, for an extra added touch, classic Chevrolet. And it's just parked up here at the side of the sidewalk. Doesn't go anywhere, it just sits here and it's part of the theming of this hotel. And back there is where we've come from. Wonderful. Especially if you're into your older cars. No idea if this has an engine in it or whether it's just a shell. Probably is. Makes you wonder where they get these from. Those fins on the back there. I would have loved something like this, me, back in the day. Anyway, whip the camera around and continue on our bimble to go and get a nice cold beverage. So Mike, sir, that one's for you. Why not leave a comment below? Not just Mike, anybody, if you'd love a car like that that's in the background. Now, something that I noticed when we've been out eating off Disney property is the price hike. Sadly, steak tips that would have cost $10.99 way back in 2019 have shot up to $15.99, which is like a 50% rise, really. And you find that you're getting, what steak tips are, is you've got the little bits of sirloin cut up, and then they add mushrooms and vegetables. I'll just try and get past this gentleman with the leaf blower. I'll tell you what we'll do, we'll duck in around the rooms because it's pretty busy here. Everyone seems to be up this morning at All-Star Music. Yeah, what they do, they mix vegetables up and they add them to the sirloin tips, and you're finding that you're getting less sirloin and more vegetable, and it's costing you more. And it has a knock-on effect, Hot Potters, to your meal, because it's not just a price hike on the actual goods that you're paying for, because then you've got tax on that. Everything over here is plus tax. You don't see that in the UK. What you see, the price you see, is the price you pay. But over in America, it's plus tax, which is whatever tax that state has set it at. And then you've got the tip at the end of your meal that you'll pay your server, which used to be 10% when I first started coming out here. Now it's recommended you pay 15% of your bill to your server, which they work damn hard, do the servers. I've got no qualms at that, at paying someone. They're doing the job, they're on the feet all day, so why not pay them? But it does push the old bill up, and it's getting to a stage now where a lot of these places are pricing themselves out. I'm seeing a number of names that we used to go to, Shoney's being one of them, Sizzler is another. They're all slowly closing up the franchises. And I believe that Sizzler as a franchise has gone now. I have seen one at the side of the road, and I did want to jump out and film it, but it was a little bit too hot. And what I can't understand is why food prices have shot up here in America. Now, over in the UK, when we was part of the good old EU, we'd thrown our irons in with a lot of countries. If one country experienced a problem, everyone was expected to pick up the slack. So I can understand it though. But over in America, it's a massive country. They're self-sufficient. So what is the factor that's pushing prices up? Is it oil? Again, America have massive oil reserves, so if I was them, I'd just simply say to Arabs, wind your necks in, otherwise we're going to flood the market with cheap oil, and that'll screw you over. But what is it? What do you think it is? Why do you think prices across the world have just shot up? And whenever you ask anybody, they'll just say, well, that's just the way it is. Prices have just gone up. Yeah, but why? And it has a knock-on effect on everything, not just holidays, on everything. Everybody is struggling at the minute. And I don't know what, Potters, it might get to a stage where these little jaunts to places for the H's either become far and few between, or they don't happen at all. And it just has a knock-on effect to everybody, doesn't it? Anyway, I'm now here in the heart of this hotel, and like I say, I think if it was theming, I would have preferred this one. I really would. We have been in the pool here, and it is a fantastic pool. I won't film that for obvious reasons. There's people in there in swimming cozies and things like that, and somebody sticking a camera over the fence. I'm going to get hauled off that local constabulary, aren't I? But yeah, I'm just making my way to the hotel entrance now, and I'll fill up the old beverage. So, I think I'll wrap it up here. Big thank you once again to everybody who's left comments. Please keep them coming, I do read them all. So, until the next time, from myself, Mr. H, here in someone else's hotel, it is bye bye for now.